Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Am I the Asshole? If you like hearing Reddit stories, it would really support the channel if you could like or subscribe. Let's get started with our first story. Am I the asshole for refusing to give up my table in a coffee shop for a woman who supposedly was recovering from back surgery? On Saturday mornings, I study at a cafe. It is always crowded. Coffee shop noise helps me focus. So I show up at opening time, 8 a.m, order some food and a drink, and stay for 2 to 3 hours. The layout is mostly two-person tables that can be pushed together with some larger tables as well as counter seating. Even though I go on my own, I always sit at a two-person table as the counters are uncomfortable for me and they do not have much space. I also like sitting against the wall so that people walking by can't see my computer screen. Yesterday at 9 a.m., I was doing work at a table when a random woman sat across from me. This ticked me off because I don't like my personal space being invaded, and I would have appreciated it if she had asked me before sitting down, but I ignored it. I was near the counter that day, so she might have just been waiting for her food. As I looked up, I noticed she was talking to another woman in the line to order. Well, call the first woman Beatrice and the second woman Susie. Susie was saying how they might have to take their food to go because no tables were available. Beatrice didn't address me directly, but she gestured to me as if planning to take over my table. This ticked me off more because it was like I was an object that could be moved, but I knew when the time came, I would ask them not to sit at my table. Sure enough, Susie got the order in and brought her number to my table. She then asked if I wouldn't mind moving to the counters so that her friend could sit here, saying her friend had recently had back surgery and the counters would be too uncomfortable for her. I told her, "No, the counters are uncomfortable for me too, and there would not be enough space for all of my books and notebooks." She called me rude and inconsiderate and said I shouldn't even be there because I wasn't eating anything. I said I had bought breakfast and a drink, not that it was their business and that they could take things to go. Eventually, one of the workers came over and asked if they were bothering me. I said they were, and Beatrice and Susie were asked to leave. When I got home, I recounted the story to my roommate. I thought she would be as horrified as I was by their behavior, but she was hesitant to take a side. She said their behavior was rude and entitled, but at the same time, I was taking up a table at a notoriously busy cafe for a long time, and I could have moved. Later, my sister likened it to not giving up a seat to a disabled person on public transit. This I don't agree with because transportation is a need for a lot of people. And these people didn't need to sit down at this cafe. Also, maybe this is assholey of me, but I think a lot of people say they have back issues or some other mild condition just to get things they want. Both my sister and my roommate said it was they had to be there kind of situation for them to decide. So I'm wondering if any of you can decide if I'm TA without having been there. I was taking up a table at a notoriously busy cafe for a long time. Everyone sucks here. Everyone sucks here. The woman was okay to ask, but when you declined, that should have been the end of the discussion. Coffee shops do somewhat encourage hanging out, so I get it. But when there are no available tables for new patrons and you've already been there, you typically stay 2 to 3 hours, then yeah, you're an asshole, both for hogging space and for affecting business. The fact that the employee moved the women along instead of asking OP to finish up tells me that this particular coffee shop doesn't agree with you that OP is affecting business or hogging the table. Seems like their business model is as long as they continue to order the occasional coffee, they're welcome to stay. Also, one reliable regular customer who spends enough to warrant the time and space they occupy is worth more than a pair of single purchase customers. And they boost the regular sales when they recount the good service and attitude to their friends. Not the asshole. I agree that she didn't need to sit down. If she did recently have back surgery, she shouldn't be dining at places with limited seating. Plus, the way they went about trying to appropriate your table was pretty bold. I would have stayed at the table just because of that. Everyone sucks here. After your intro, I was ready to hate you, but the way it sounds like they just turned up and assumed they could take your table is absolutely infuriating. You studying in a busy cafe for multiple hours, taking up a two-person table at the busiest time of the week, is shitty of you. I think it makes you an asshole, though some might say, since you're paying, you're entitled to do so. Their entitlement makes them assholes. Well, that's another episode of Am I the Asshole in the books. I really appreciate all of you who made it this far into the video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel out a lot if you gave the video a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.